Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn Podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff, and Bucket's not here today because his computer part is broken that runs his internet stuff. So,
Because
it's not
Wi-Fi.
one thing, it's another. It's a Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
adapter card. He's got a new one coming, so he should be back next week. We'll see. Or are you using your...
backwards? Yeah, I'm using my dad cup.
Yeah. Speaking of the dad cup, we also don't have babysitters today, so on my audio track, there's like a slight bird sound in the background. It's because I have the baby monitor and I can't turn it off because that's an irresponsible thing to do. So
You can turn it down pretty low.
it is turned down pretty
vocal.
low, but these microphones can sometimes be very sensitive. It just sounds like I'm in some sort of aviary. No big deal.
The peaceful background noise. It's
It is.
quaint.
Noise
sit
gate.
back
That's why I have noise
outside.
gate.
I mean, I don't
Yeah, but
know.
when
The
she's
noise
talking,
gate may
it's gonna
mean
be
that it
picking
doesn't
it
get
up
picked
anyway.
up. I'm just saying if it does. It also means that he's taking a nap right now, but his naps are sometimes short. So might have to be like, all right, and we're wrapping this up because...
He is.
Well, the good thing is
the
there's not a lot of
streaming process.
news,
Yeah.
and I didn't play that much, and I don't think y'all did that either. So
No.
it could be a very short trip.
Yeah,
Well, what
and
did you
Baka's not here too, the one that likes to talk the most. So,
Oh, yeah,
so that
definitely.
helps,
Let's
too.
just blame that on him. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
What did you play this week, Oak?
Played Green Hell last Sunday. Be playing it again today. Which it's one of those where we're kind of exploring the world a little bit more and trying not to die. But at the same time, the problem I had,
I mean, that's
the
pretty
week
much the
before
objective in all
without No
games.
Pants Around was the fact, or No Pants left early. The problem I had was that he left, and then I didn't have anybody to save me. Well, the same thing happened to him this time, except I was there to come and save him, but I was a little late,
Oops.
and so I was on my way, and he died. Well, he had already set up a bed and everything else, so he respawned right there where I was at. Well, he's going through trying to find all of his stuff, and it's scattered all the way around. So I don't know if they just changed, instead of it dropping in one location, they went, okay, we're gonna spread this out a little bit, so it's like scattered in the area
It's
to
like
where
your
he
body
died.
explodes now.
So you're
instead.
telling me this game has pinata death?
So it's,
die,
either,
you
pinata,
just
it's either a
explode.
pinata death, or because it's kind of a straight line, or they like your body was dragged by a mean thing, whatever,
Oh,
and took
okay.
it off. I don't know. I do know that I got this weird thing. He's like, "Do you need an axe?" And I was like, "Well, I lost one at one point, and because I died." And he goes, "Oh wait, I think I found your stuff." And here's the bad part. So when I had died last time without having him around help-wise, I wasn't far from the village that would have saved my life.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
You were like right
But I
there.
couldn't see the village from where I was at, and now I'm sad. But I did get most of my stuff back, so that's good.
Yeah.
And since I know how to build most of the stuff back, it's not that big of a deal. But it is. The world is still brutal as hell. So good thing it's called Green Hell, huh? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I played that, and then I played a little bit of Deathloop this weekend on streaming. Like I actually had on Tuesday, I played a little bit of Deathloop, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do some Deathloop, and then it was just, I was kind of tired from work and stuff, so I was like, all right, well, let's just chat. So I started chatting, and I wanted to get off at a certain time, but then I got raided during the middle of the chatting, so I stayed on for an extra hour and a half afterwards, just chatting. It was kind of fun. And then on Thursday, I played more of the gas station simulator, which I am extremely proficient at gas station simulator. Like, I am awesome.
It kills me
And-
that we are so bored in the gaming world that we make simulators for jobs that people fucking hate.
You know what though? They did really well though. Like, it's not like it's set up one of those things. It's first of all set in 1990, but the other thing about it is like they made the game fun in the fact that they made it like little mini things instead of going, hey, here's your job, sit behind the desk. Some dude needs his pills to get a hard on. Will you sell those to him along with some vapes? It's not that type of game. It's one of
And
those
to
where
be
they actually
fair,
give you work to do.
those are called coping mechanisms, and that people actually do in real life in mundane jobs, so
Oh
that it
my
helps
God.
keep them going, because that shit will become very tedious.
As you can tell,
wanna
it's like
be
a
a
very
gas station owner.
anti-simulator game, apparently.
There's a place for everything, and I'll never discredit anybody for enjoying something. I just find it funny that we're at a point to where we're like, I want to be a gas station attendant from the 90s. Yeah. Because you can't make a movie or a show about that.
But they did really
you can
well
make
on
a
it.
game
It's like
about it.
they combined House Flipper. They were like, House Flipper's a decent idea. I like the idea of this. What if we flipped the gas station and we made the guy that is buying it have to borrow money from his uncle who's going to break his legs if he doesn't pay the money back in a certain amount of time? Like, can we make that a thing? I think they're really hokey about it, which is what I like about it. It's not, it's just, I guess it's kind of one of the surgeon one that they used to have or whatever that was kind of popular for a long time, where
Surgeon
all
Sim.
your controls were horrible and trying to actually get stuff to work was awful. It was fun because it was bad. And this one's fun because it's just like you can act and just have a good time and see the characters that they've created, and it doesn't really feel like work. I actually had a friend of mine go, "Why would you work all day and then come home and play a game that makes you work?" And I was like, "Because it doesn't feel like work. It really doesn't."
To be fair, there's also the lawnmower simulator that has, for some reason, blew up too. Like, go
Are
outside
you mowing
and cut
lawns?
your.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Go outside and cut your grass.
Oh hell
No.
no! I pay somebody for that. What are you talking about?
Oh, but
Hey,
you will
some
pay
people live
somebody
in
so that you
apartments
can
and stuff,
pretend to
and they
cut
don't
your
have
grass. What?
Yeah, people that live in apartments, condos, things like that.
Yeah, they don't.
You know,
have
inner
grass.
city, they don't have grass. You know, I give them the opportunity there, buddy.
Oh my god, it kills me. Hey,
I mean,
as long as you're enjoying
jeez.
yourself, that's all that matters. But
Yeah, it's
Dave.
fun. I really enjoyed it. Then we played Sea of Thieves Friday night, or sorry, Saturday morning. I was gonna do it Friday night, but I wasn't able to. So we played it Saturday morning. It was just me, Alyssa, and Old Man, and we played some of the new stuff. And let me tell you how much I love the new stuff when it comes to people trying to grift you, in so many ways, because they
Did you say
cannot
grift?
touch the shit. Huh?
Yeah.
did you say
Yeah.
grift?
Yeah, yes, grief.
Okay,
But then
okay.
my brain is not functioning right now.
I
Basically, what happened is the people tried to come in, right, and just destroy us. But all we were doing was taking the stuff and put them in the statues. We got the statue completely full. We left the area because they had already sunk our ship outside anyway. We left the area, went to a different shrine. Were able to complete that shrine, take the stuff out of it, and then we went back to the previous shrine where those guys had now left, went to the mermaid that's sitting up top, hit the button for the mermaid. Mermaid releases all the shit that we had let loose, picked all of our stuff up and went. So theoretically, you could go to each one of them and come back to each one of them individually. So once you complete them, just move on to the next one without taking anything out of it, and your stuff's all there. So it was kind of nice. Because it was, people being dick bags, but they didn't get anything out of it. So it's like, okay, now I can move on to the next one. And then we finished it. So we were able to finish a couple shrines and do it that way. And actually, when we went back to the shrine the second time, we had not done all the journals. So we went in to do the journals and got the journals done. And we had already put like 15 items in the mermaid again. So we were able to go in and literally almost do it twice in a row before people tried to attack us again. And so it was just like, okay, well, we'll go turn the shit in we've got, and then we'll come back for it. And so it's a good little strategy. I like I like some of the gameplay in it. I think it's neat how you can move through. My favorite so far, though, is one that's puzzle based. They need more puzzle based shit where I go in and I've got to figure out how to get from point A to point B, and I've got to flip this lever and then flip this lever and then flip this lever, or I've got to make sure that each one of these statues are in a certain pose, whatever it happens to be. I like that stuff. I do not like it where they're like swim from point A to point B, and then you're going to walk for a little bit on land, and then you go to swim some more. Like, I don't want that. Or you're swimming the entire time. Try not to die, whatever it happens to be. But I like some of the stuff they're doing with them. I'm interested to see once we get into the treasuries how those change versus the shrines. It is which I've read the Sea of Thieves the novel that was out, or I'd listened to because it was acted out. And the plot line so far in the journals that they're doing is similar to the background from that actual journal. So I'm glad to know that they're not changing lore based on what they've already released.
Right.
And there are, this is where we find out too, where the ocean crawlers, which are the big crabs and everything else, how they came to be in this lore, versus them just saying, oh, they came over from, the world of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's how they fit into this lore, which I think is neat. So
if you could give me a version of that game that had a non-PvP server, just a PvE server, I'd play the shit out of it.
That was one of the things that they asked out. If you could change anything about Sea of Thieves, or you could add something into the game, probably the most popular thing that I've seen added that people wanted was they wanted the ability to be able to either preset a ship set. So you go up and you already have your ship set, and you hit one button, ship automatically changes instead of you having to go to individual stuff. Or have a random button like they do with clothes. Where you hit the random and it just picks the different stuff and then you go. But then the other one was people still doing the PvE thing, and I get it. It is a PvP game.
It's going to happen. For the record, I've been really good about calling this stuff. Sea of Thieves will eventually have a PvE style server. When they need the numbers boost and they want the popularity to kind of swing up, they will do it. 100%, it will make their population grow, and it will create an entirely different side of the community. It will cut off. It will damage the people who are griefers more than the people who actually like PvP. Because people who like PvP are still going to do the open style server and, go out there and risk it and just play like that. But there are people that are going to just want to just chill out, sail the seas, enjoy themselves, that can do that low key. And that will help bring in more people. It's only a matter of
The
time.
only problem you're going to run into it is, how do you create that server? Because you can't have a single instance. Like, in the fact that you and I playing together and we're going, okay, we want to play, we want to be able to play PvE. They're not going to make it to where it's, not a broad server. It's going to be to where they're going to have other ships and stuff that are on there, because you want that world to feel alive.
You want to know how they do that? They do it like a normal server, but as soon as you attack somebody else, you get sent to a PvP server. Because it does that whole loading in-game, so, you pull up, it does the little thing. You start shooting at somebody, it pulls up the little thing on your screen. It does the whole, a little rhyme about PvP or fighting other pirates, and it sends you to a different server.
It would have to be two separate, server bases, though, so, when
It will. It'll be, one that's, they put a little asterisk on it that's for PvP, and then one that doesn't, so that if people attack other people on this safe server, then they get instantly sent to the open server.
Yeah, because my whole thing about it is I don't worry about me. There's going to be people that are griefing, that are going to do stupid shit like that, and I don't worry about that. What I worry about is the fact my kid can't play this game.
Yes,
because of those people.
Yes, that's my problem. Is I can handle it, but there are kids that want to play, that walk into this and just get absolute griefed, and either they feel like that's the way they should play the game, which destroys their mentality, or they just get discouraged and don't want to play it.
Or you just have people like me that have high anxiety about stuff and don't want to waste their time spending 2 hours gathering all of this treasure for some dickbag to come up and take it. I can't play the game for the anxiety.
Well, and I think one of the things that you can do on that to keep it too, because you're going to have, what the PvP people are going to bitch about is the fact that they don't think that people that are playing PvE should get as many points as the people that are playing PvP.
Oh yeah.
And so, but basically, in other games, the way they're set up, it's set up to where there is an XP bonus for playing in a harder level, right? Mm-hmm. So theoretically PvP is going to give you a harder level, so you just don't allow you give them an XP bonus that they're playing on the main servers versus playing on the regular
something
PvE.
simple could be you make 1.5 times the amount of gold.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
You make a bonus amount of gold. To be fair, there's no power in gold anyway. It's literally just for buying cosmetics. You want your cosmetics a little faster? Go play in the risky world. That's it. You can just go out there, you can make tons of money. but you're gonna play a high risk, high reward style. Right now, it's high risk, low reward.
Mhm.
So you
Well,
increase that
depending,
risk
yeah, I
with
mean,
that play
and that's
style.
the thing is like, you can make a lot of money in a night, and it's just one of those where did you pick the right server, and if you pick the right server, are the people that, and if you pick the wrong server, are the people that are on it just bad? Because if
Yeah.
they're bad, you're fine, but if they're not bad, then you get screwed. You know, bad at the game, not bad as a human.
I have had some of my best moments in that game, and I've also had some of the most infuriating moments in that game.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like Sea of Thieves is so
Polarizing.
good across the board, but it is like two different ends of the
other day
spectrum.
that summed it up pretty much. Just goes me rage quitting on Sea of Thieves, and there's a guy walking out the door, and they put has a pirate hat on, and he turns around and looks at it and goes, "Screw you guys, see you tomorrow," and that's basically it.
Pretty much, it's like I can't handle this, but I'll come back and play tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's why eventually they will make it so that people can peacefully sail on the sea.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that game does have a lot to offer, especially for a younger demographic. It's just with jerkbags around, you're either turning that younger demographic instantly toxic because they assume that's how you're supposed to play it, or they're just not going to play your game. I mean...
Mm-hmm.
And see, I'm fine with the pirate part of that game. Like, that does not bother me. You come steal my ship, you take my stuff, you're good. But when you literally just camp somebody, or you sit on their ship and just kill them over and over again, like, what's the point of that? That's not pirates.
It doesn't serve a purpose. Like, that was one of the things that, like, I don't understand. Like, so if I am trying to finish something out and I've got something on my ship, cool. If you see me just leave port and you know good and well I just spawned in, why kill me?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is the point of that?
Why kill me if you don't have a Reaper flag on, of all things? That's the thing that kills me. Like, at least with a Reaper flag, I know what your purpose in life is.
Hell, that's also something that they could do. Make it so that you can only damage other ships if you have a Reaper flag on.
And the other ships are
Otherwise,
also
you
Reapers?
just, like, there's no collision. Like, you just kind of shoot
Hmm.
through them. Like, you can just make things like that happen. There
Mhm.
are options for them to adjust their game and evolve it.
Yep.
But
Oh,
we can go on. We've gone on a long time with Sea of Thieves before.
We played some Red Dead Online this weekend because, as you know, it's Baka's new addiction. He's just a fiend for it. Well, he's kind of gotten us into it a little bit, and we were looking for something that we could play since Red's out of town right now, and my sister still wanted to play, so we were like, okay, we can play that. And we were having issues with connection, people staying in when we started, missions and things like that. And at one point, I was like, okay, somebody's dropped out of the mission and disconnected. The way that you fix that is you go to online and basically swap servers, so it takes you out of the mission because that's the only way to cancel it. I swapped servers, and like the second I loaded into the new server, I was getting shot. There's just two dudes ran up on me while I was still loading, essentially, and murdered me. And I was like, well, not this server, swap again. It's like the first time all night I'd actually seen red names on the server. So I was like, well, okay. By the way, he's awake. We'll see if he lays back down, but he may not because he's standing there. I told you he doesn't nap anymore.
He does nap. Let him be.
Okay, we'll see.
You act like you don't know. Think I know my son well enough. I do. He'll fall
Sometimes
back
he
down,
will and
put his
sometimes he
face
won't.
down.
It just depends on how active he gets when he gets up, so I'm watching. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But we played some Red Dead, and that game is fun. It just takes it's very grindy. It takes a really long time to make money to buy stuff. And I think once we can get everybody's connection things, because Chicken and I run into this a lot, where an online game recognizes that we are on the same IP, and so all of a sudden it will only let one of us in at a time. And that is the most frustrating thing, because the only thing you can do about it is reset our router, and that takes forever. So we got to play for a little while, but not as long as we would have liked. I did get a new pony, though, one of the big ones. I'm not a fast pony person. I want my large pony. He just takes a while to get places. And we also
Get the big pony.
Yeah, me and Chicken and Cat played State of Decay 2 one night, and the problem with that game is there's no the gameplay and everything is solid. It's just that if you're not the server host, there's no reason for you to do anything. None of your progress is permanent or anything like that, which I think Chicken mentioned when they first announced that game. But it's just one of those things where it's like, this is kind of fun and all, but I feel like I'm not really getting anything out of it, because if I play again tomorrow on my server, like my little community, I don't have anything that I got from this, so...
Yeah, you do. Remember, anything you put in your locker is yours.
You got to put it in your locker.
Yeah, but any progress that we make for your community is for your community, not our community. It doesn't, like, transcend. So, it's not as permanent,
Yeah, I
guess.
wish they had changed that up a little bit more and made it an actual cooperative survival game instead of what they ended up doing with it.
Yeah, it's basically like they didn't make a true co-op game. They just, they made the single-player game that your friends can join into.
Yeah, because some of the stuff that they did on it were really was really cool, like the zombie nest thing that looks like a heart, and then you have to destroy and so like that type thing I think was really neat. And then just the wandering around and trying to discover different parts of it I thought was cool. But it's like I didn't, when I was playing the bit of it I was playing, like, if I wanted somebody else to come in, I might have progressed so far, and then they've gotten in and they're like, wait, where are we at now? Like, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, Chicken, did you do anything this week?
I've played a shitload of D2. I've got I've got two of my characters. One's 26, one's 23, and the other one's 18. I play on hardcore offline because I don't care to play online.
That's Diablo 2 for those paying attention, not Destiny 2.
Yeah, Diablo 2. The original D2. But yeah, I've just been putting a lot of time into that. Like, that's pretty much I set it here, and then if I need to pause it, I just press escape and I can walk away. Perks of offline games is you can pause them. I know, it's a crazy concept in this day and age. But I've just been putting a bunch of time into that. Just feeling out the characters. The game looks incredible. Still can't brag enough about it. But I don't think I've really played anything else. Oh, I have played one other thing. I can't talk about it, but there's a game on Steam.
Nice.
It's called The Cycle Frontier. You click a button, you play test, and they send you an email, and you can join the play test. It's an NDA. You can't stream or anything about the game, but that's all I can say about it. I'm enjoying it. There you go.
What's the concept? Because surely that's released where you can talk about it, right?
It's an FPS game.
Oh.
Well then.
It plays similar to another very specific style game.
Wow, okay, look, I'm not playing this game with y'all.
No, everybody knows that if they think of a shooter, they think of a very specific, realistic style shooter.
Oh.
And what was the name of the game again?
It's called The Cycle Frontier. I don't know. If you guys are watching this somehow and you find me, I'm not trying to give away your secrets of the game. I'm trying to entice people to come look at it and sign up for your playtest.
Well, I mean, like I said,
They said
synopsis on the...
What? So I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm not giving away any of your secrets. I do like the concept of what you're showing me and what I have played. So check it out.
That is The Cycle Frontier for those that are trying to look it up.
Yes. And they're very quick with their playtest because I told Baka to sign up last night. He got an email this morning and he's in. We're going to be playing it tonight.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think they're looking for playtesters too. So,
okay, request sent.
So you'll probably get yours either later on.
I saw the opening video and went, "Yep, okay."
Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I like the whole concept of it and what they have, what they're showing me. So that's what I've played. I've done a few rounds and enjoyed myself.
Well, then do you want to talk about the news stuff? What little of it there is?
The 3 articles that we have.
Okay, look, I'm just going to jump in with this one right here. Reportedly, Konami has greenlit a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. And along with this, like, there's a lot of talk about other Konami series that are also in the works. Y'all, if you knew how many times I have read things like, Konami is greenlighting this remake of this game and this franchise, and it's like, most of the time it doesn't come to fruition. If we see this game and this is like the true start of a Konami renaissance where we're gonna get, new stuff, more power to them. I'm excited because it sounds like they're gonna start like giving things out to third parties to work on and make. I'm all about that because
there are rumors that that they've already started working on a Silent Hill game, and they've got a Castlevania reboot coming along. I think I wrote this somewhere else, but I guarantee, you can quote me on this, I'm pretty right, guarantee by the end of this decade we will have seen at least one new game like from their main franchises by the end of this decade.
I think Castlevania is the more likely out of this entire bunch.
Oh yes.
I mean, my
I
concern
think
with
the Metal Gear
Gear
Solid
is,
remakes are going to be fine too. Like
maybe.
the remasters.
But there's also a call for Castlevania, because if you take somebody that is not necessarily not a gamer, but somebody that's casual gamer, we'll say somebody that's close to my age, but they don't game the same way I do, where they've just continued to game their entire life, but they remember it. Castlevania is something they remember playing, and with the anime that came out on Netflix, it still has that. I think a little bit of people very interested in that. So I think you could, if it's done right, I think it's one of those where people would go towards. Where Metal Gear people are Metal Gear people. I think Castlevania are gamers in general. I'm an old school Metal Gear fan, but some of the newer stuff they came out with, I was like, I'm good. When it took me 15 minutes to beat a $30 game, I think
Yeah.
like
Well, I think
my
some of
dream-
that, though, that was like the end of Kojima being there, and I think part of that was his FU to them,
maybe.
Yeah. Like my dream for a Castlevania reboot they would do the first one open world style, like do the whole kind of world. You get to play the first Belmont, and Dracula's castle is somewhere out in the world, and the demons kind of run from his castle and overtake towns and whatnot, and it's your job to kind of beat them back, almost like Ghost of Tsushima style, where you start reclaiming towns and pushing them back to Dracula's castle, and then you take down Dracula, big hooray, and then leaves you on a cliffhanger. He gets to be
I
celebrated.
can see it that way, or I could see it like Darksiders-esque, where it's semi-open world but not really open world.
Yes, they got to do something with the world, because I think that's the only thing that hasn't been utilized as well as it could have been. Like, especially because I think of the series from Netflix, the towns they go to, the places they see, the people they meet. Like, I want to see more of the Castlevania world. I get it, Dracula's castle. All right, show me something more than just Dracula's castle. I get it, it's a huge maze puzzle thing, but there needs to be more to that universe than just the castle.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could figure out ways to put puzzles into the game itself without having to.
Absolutely. Look at Darksiders, as you just said. Right? There's world puzzles.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and you get to the castle itself, and then the puzzles that are inside of it are insane compared to the ones you did before, but they help prepare you for ones in there if you wanted to do it that way, right?
Boom. Here you go. You have to have specific tools to work your way through specific parts of the castle. When you hit a certain wall, you're like, well, I have to go back and figure out where this tool is out here in the world. Then you go back, do some side quests or main missions, and then you can go back to the castle, work a little deeper in there, and then you have to go back out. Like, there are ideas. I'm creative. Konami,
you have a few little areas that are, let's say, like secret loot areas or whatever, that can, if you didn't do all the side quest stuff or whatever, you can't access those, but it's not important to the main plot line either, right?
So you have perfect.
Right? And then now you've got your completionist part of it.
Yeah, that lists into the Castlevania secrets and, breaking the walls and getting upgrades and things like that. Like, perfect.
Look, we came up with hobos on a train, so at the end of the day, I feel like, they should listen to us on this. Just saying.
I agree. That's just my opinion. I really want to see, I'd like to see a reboot, start the whole series over again.
And people, please stop with the Silent Hill shit. It's not happening.
It's never
happening. It is happening.
I will only believe that when I am actually playing the game.
I'll tell you when I'll believe it. I'll believe it when the first review for the game comes out. I don't have to play the game. Just when the first review is actually released. That's not on April Fool's Day. On whatever it is. of whatever year. I know what day it would be, just whatever year.
Oh man. All right. Well, we have two other.
Let's get
Fun
done with the
things.
one that is just stupid on so many levels. So as we've been covering for the last few weeks, Activision is hot water, not only with the state of California, but it was also with the federal government, due to all the stuff that's been going on there. And so this billion-dollar company was able to basically settle out of court with our federal government on the way that they were treating their employees by creating a fund worth $18 million. This billion-dollar company
Yeah.
is going to get away with $18 million of a fund. So if anybody had a problem, issue, or whatever, then they can get a cut of that.
Now, this is only for this specific lawsuit, because I saw people getting upset about it. That is just one, and this one came out of left field. Like, we didn't know anything about this lawsuit until it came out and was already settled. Because last week, it was like, hey, this one is on them too, but this one's already settled. And everyone's like, how many more are behind the scenes that they're going to settle for this kind of cheap pennies?
Well, and I don't think California is going to allow them to settle for that amount of money either.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. California is a hard ass when it comes to things like this.
Yep.
You know they will take them to the cleaners as best as they can.
I do kind of want to throw this out there because I know Chicken and I, obviously, we keep up with a lot of the stuff that's going on with WoW and everything, but Oak does not. So, Oak, let me get your take on this. They're changing things in World of Warcraft that are to be more inclusive and to make people more comfortable and take out harassment and things. Like, one of the first things that people noticed, and it got a lot of flack, was there was a picture of a slightly suggestively dressed lady that they turned into a picture of fruit. They renamed some of the, what was it? They renamed the concubines and consorts to something else.
Yeah, like there's a specific mob called the Night Mistress. They added a male counterpart called the Night Lord. Now it has a chance when those enemies spawn, it has a chance to spawn between one or the other. Instead of it just always being the Night Mistress, you now have the Night Lord too.
They changed one of the areas to the Den of Mortal Delights. And added dudes in, so it wasn't just ladies. And it's like, these are all well and good, but to me it seems kind of like a, look at how progressive we are, we're fixing everything surface fix.
Feels
I also have
deaf
it.
as
Okay,
fuck.
here's the thing. I understand we're looking at this with a 2021 brain
Yeah.
at the end of the day and think, but also we have to look at the other part of a 2021 brain, which is sex workers a thing and has been, and sex workers' rights is a thing, and these people are sex workers, and it's okay that they're sex workers and happen to be female, and yes, there are males that are involved in that as well. But if that's the way the world was set up to start with, I just think it's, if the people that are playing the game, and I would go to the women first on this one, but if the women that are playing the game have a major issue with the stuff that's in there, then yes, make the change.
I mean, I
But I
don't
think
have a
that
problem with some of the changes they're making, like adding the dudes in instead of it just being ladies and things like. I don't have a problem with this. It's just one of those things where it's like, it feels like one of those things where you're like, look at my hand over here, look what we're doing and all of these great things, look over here, and while your other hand is still doing all of the bad shit. You know, like, it's a distraction. It feels like a distraction.
It can be a distraction, but also keep in mind that part of that's been said about this to start with is when all this came to light, it was stated then, actions speak louder than words, because they said we're going to correct the problem, correct the issue. So you're seeing that happening. It's also one of those issues of the whole McCree issue. Is that something that's actually going to affect something? It's going to change something?
Yeah.
Or is it one of those where you're just showing something cosmetically and changing it that way because of what's happening currently?
Well,
I think you have to, in this particular case, yes, I think the changes would be made, but you could have done that with any type of update in your retail and left classic the way it is type deal, right?
Well, I mean, I don't.
All of these are in class. Like, all of
Yeah,
these
they're in
changes
retail.
are retail.
Yeah,
they're
they're-
not.
Okay, so it's
they're
not a classic
changing
thing.
class.
You
Yeah.
just do it with whatever your next expansion is. Then I don't think you do it in the middle of it, but that's just me.
I think it feels like one of those too little too late, and it's also just in general it's too little. Like,
it feels tone deaf. Like I want, like, okay, like you said, actions speak louder than words. Show me some actions from Blizzard. Don't give me this peddling your pennies at me bullshit. Where yeah, I like what you're doing. It should have been done a long time ago, but I want to see some action where the real problems are. Like I do not see lawsuits against your in-game models. I see lawsuits against your people.
You're not having lawsuits against it, but also think about it from a legal standpoint. There are some things they cannot, while things are in litigation, that they cannot
can't
discuss.
That's true, too.
That's fair.
I mean, that's
but I mean,
accurate.
but again, there are things you can say, which is we are working with this internally, but because of legal reasons, we can't discuss what's being done. Whatever, however you want to say it. In the meantime, for the gamers, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with them changing any of those issues, anything like if, especially if people have problems with them, you know, make it a thing. I think it's like I said, it would have been something I would have done in whatever the next. Well, I don't even know if they're going to have a next expansion, so I guess that's why you do it. But
yeah.
You know, I just. Maybe the better thing for them to do is just be like, okay, we're scrapping World of Warcraft as is. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We're going to have World of Warcraft 2. We're still going to have these servers open, but it's going to be one of those where we're working on a new thing. So don't expect any new expansions, and we're going to do it with our mindset now in 2021, not when we originally built this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels a little, like Chicken said, a little tone deaf, where it's like, look at all of these changes amidst all of this really bad stuff, and these are all really minor things that don't really affect anything in life. Look at that picture of a bowl of fruit that you literally probably never looked at because nobody drew your attention to it until we changed it to a bowl of fruit, you know?
Right. Well, but I also think it's one of those, the major things, the things that needed to change happen within the company. And the only way we're going to know that happens within the company is if somebody speaks out about it. It's just like all this stuff has been happening for years and nobody knew anything about it until somebody spoke out about it. And so it's just, there's not, and to be fair, it doesn't really affect the gamer. This stuff does affect the gamer directly, where the other stuff that they're having to work on internally affects the employee.
That's true.
So I just don't know. I don't know how you handle that from PR, because it's so fucked up on everything that's been happening.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Start firing people.
It's complicated and it's messed up. But welcome to being a human, where we are literally nothing but complicated and messed up. We're all messed up in some way or another.
You think?
Oh my god.
But $18 million, like you said, this might be the first of that bunch, but it might be the only from the federal.
Yeah.
We don't know. That might have been part of the settlement, for all we know. So until we get to further into this, California needs to definitely make sure that they,
go for the
can
throat.
pay properly for what they did. Or allowed.
Yeah, they need to just slam Activision Blizzard.
Well, let's talk about the other MMO company right now, which is Amazon. Surprisingly enough, New World is apparently knocking it out of the park. So much so that there are a lot of full servers. So Amazon is now blocking people from creating new characters on full servers.
They have also passed Cyberpunk on Steam's most played. Like, they jumped Cyberpunk, so they're number 3 now, I think, of
people are still
total.
People other than me are still playing Cyberpunk.
Enough.
Which, to be fair, you'll never ever break into the top 2 on Steam. Like, there's no way you will never ever surpass CS, Counter-Strike, or Dota.
I should have known what they were.
Yeah, exactly. When I say that, you're like, oh yeah, of course, nobody's gonna get past them.
Yeah.
Nobody is gonna get past them. If you're number 3, good job. You've reached the top. That's pretty
as
much
high as you're gonna get, especially in your first week. You're good.
Exactly. I think New World looks like it's okay. It also shows that people are absolutely fiending for an MMO.
Yeah.
I think some of the things that I've seen out of it that are really positive. No Pants is trying to get me to play this game, and
you're just not interested.
The first words out of my mouth is, "Do I have to deal with a guild?" It's the first thing I said, because it's one of those where I know all my friends that have dealt with MMOs and everything else, the issues that they run into happens to be the guild side of it, and there's like, and it's not the guild itself. It's
a different style game,
right?
Than like, because the way I look at New World is a lot different than WoW. Like, there's another MMO. It's Palia, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And that is where I'm looking. I'm going to probably retire my MMO career to that game, because it's literally a casual, it's almost like Stardew Field or Animal Crossing, where you
Valley.
literally just build your house, talk to your neighbors, hang out with your friends, fish, farm, things like that. Like, where it's very casual. There's no combat, there's no raids and things like that. It's just a place to retire.
Yeah, and this one they have like battles and wars and stuff like
Yeah.
that's set up, and it's
But
like
there's also a lot of on the outsides where there's tons of crafting, other professions that you could do, build up your house, do a lot of trading.
yeah, it's like there's a survival element to the game, which is why I'd want to play it.
Yes, that's
stuff
the only
that
reason
like.
I want to play too. It's like, that stuff looks fun. I'm getting burnt out on actually like fighting monsters and things like that. I'd be a little casual for a while, where I could just kind of sit back and trade a little bit, or go fishing and, you know, get my fishing up, almost like RuneScape style, where it's just
Right.
hanging
do
out
whatever.
and chopping trees down.
Yeah, which I'd be fine with. I mean, it's like that part right there. I would like it. Beautiful game too.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it looks good.
Just looking at the graphics of it and everything else, the people that have been playing it, it looks beautiful. I just don't know if I'm gonna play it. or not. I've never played an MMO, and it's like I don't know if this is the one to start with either. So
I don't think
it
MMO is
might
your
be-
game style.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be mean doing this, but with MMOs, you've got to commit at least partially, and they require you to like want to play not every day, but multiple times a week, so that you can feel like you're moving forward in your progression. It's not a game where you pick up, drop, come back later. You're going to be so far behind, and like you'll be out of touch with where the community is at.
yeah, I don't see that commitment thing being there on the end of the day. Like I could do it when it was something like, with Ark or with Atlas, any of those games that I got into or whatever. It was one of those where we had our little world, and as long as I logged in every day to be able to deal with it, I'm fine with it. And if I had that element here to where I could just sit back in the back and every once in a while, went to go play part of the plot line or whatever, I'd probably be okay with it. But the fact that I know that your in-game stuff is always going to have a guild involved in some way, I'm sure, because you're going to end up having to do your raids and all that other stuff.
There are no raids in New World
Yet.
See, that is the issue that a lot of people are having with New World, is because the fucking dumbass developers. Sorry, you guys have you're all over the place. They didn't figure out what they wanted to do for endgame. They started it off as like a giant PvP game. There's going to be huge battles for territory, but people don't just want that. Well, we're going to put in some dungeons, and now you're going to it's like, what are you trying to be? You're just going to be your average MMO? You're not going to go anywhere if you're just going to be flippy floppy. You've got to figure out what you want.
I think that's what Atlas did really well from a survival game standpoint, is they were like, okay, you think the game you were playing before was big? Let's show you big, right? And I think that's where you could have gone with this, where it'd been like, you'll never, it might take you a week to get to the other side of a map or whatever, or however you want to change it. But I mean, like I said, graphically it looks good. I like the art style that they used for it, like that genre, that New World look, as in New World when the US was created, like, that type thing, when with the explorers and the conquerors and all that stuff like moved into different areas, that look to it. So I don't know, but I'm glad that it's doing well, because Amazon needed something on the gaming end of it if they were going to survive, because if this one tanked, they were done.
They have to find, they gotta commit. They've got to right the ship now, or else their MMO is dead. Like, yeah, you're floating right now, but you better have a direction, or else you're just gonna crash into the rocks and sink like the rest of them.
Yeah, you better be sitting there with your outline, and get ready to tout it as you can. Like you should already be on, like, let's say that release date is step 2. Like 1 was beta, 2 is release date, 3 better be done, 4, 5, and 6 better be done already. Other than a little bit of setup, because like the rest of the year better be planned out and finished, because if not, they're gonna screw. Which might be part of the reason that they went, you know what, we're gonna we're gonna take our time and delay the game until they finally release it now. So
I will say they should probably go the route that Classic is doing, because I think Classic has the perfect style of how they're doing it. They don't do patches or things like this. They just break it into phases. They're like game releases. Several months down the road, they check the population. They're like, okay, everybody feels like they're at a good place. Phase 2, here we go. Let's go. Unlock a bunch of stuff, open up the game to the next level, let them play it for a while. We'll keep tabs and see where everybody's at. When we feel like they're above the 50% threshold and everybody's moved on, Phase 3. Like, they're just doing it dynamically.
So does retail do patches still?
Yes.
Okay.
They had their first one, I think it was in like June or some shit. The game came out in November, or right at the beginning of December of last year, and their first patch, like first big patch, was at the end of June. People were very upset because
I'm sure
you finished all your shit in a couple of months, and then you spent 4 months doing nothing.
We were grinding with their stupid systems. That's one of the things that people are complaining about right now, and it's something that New World better understand too, is like, if you're going to put a system into a game that's meant to cause player retention because you need them to put forth effort to do something, make it feel like they're actually doing something, instead of it just being like, oh well, gotta log on and do my X thing again. Okay, I'm log out now. Like,
but I wonder if that's part of the reason they put the survival element in it too. You know?
Maybe.
Like, let me fish.
Upgrading your reputations and fishing and building your house, and like all these little mundane things that kind of get you into kind of coming back because you want to do something, giving you an objective, giving you choices, and then you choosing what you want to do, what you want to focus on, how you want your character to develop. So we'll see how it goes as the game goes on. It's only 1 week, 2 weeks in, 1 weekend.
1 week.
It's pretty,
yeah. So. And not even 1 week, I think. Didn't it release Tuesday?
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see where it goes. I just like that it's on Steam, so if I ever do want to play it, to just play it off of Steam. I'd hate if Amazon... I'm glad Amazon didn't make their own fucking launcher. It was like, you have to play all of our games over here.
Oh my god, it would be awful.
Just give them time. This is their first one.
They already have their own launcher, too. It's the Twitch launcher, right? It's the Twitch app thing, because they own Twitch.
No. Stop giving them ideas.
Please don't give them ideas. But it's
Don't
hardly
do
ever
it.
used though. It takes
exactly.
Like, it's hardly used because that client ends up like bogging down your system. So most people don't put it on there.
It's
like
terrible.
I'll click on. I still have it on my gaming PC, but I'll click on it before I purchase a game on Steam to see if I have it for free. It was one of the games I've gotten for free for Prime. So they'll be like, okay, never mind, I have it over here. But even then, I don't like opening up the damn thing because it bogs your shit down.
The only reason I used to use it was because I could get my WoW add-ons through it.
Oh, crazy. Anything else?
No, that's
short.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brief news week.
Very brief.
See what happens when we cut out all of Bacchus talking? Man, look how much time
I mean,
we
I can't
say.
believe it.
My Lions game isn't even over yet, too. This is the first.
You and your damn Lions game. Why do they always play the same time? Every time we're on. Every time.
Because we're pathetic and we get no special times. We just sit in the middle of the afternoon and lose to whoever they put in front of us.
Aw.
At least you're aware of your patheticness.
Oh, trust me. We just became a meme. This is not a football thing, but our team is so bad when they went to hike the ball, our quarterback wasn't ready, and it hit him in the chest and bounced over the line into the defensive player's hands, and he just caught it like, is this live? Do I take this? Is this mine now? Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's lovely.
Detroit's like
better
the
than-
comedy team of the NFL right now.
The way I like to look at it is that we fucking play just below whoever we're playing, no matter what. No matter how bad they are, we're just a little bit worse. No matter how good the other team is, we're always a little bit worse. Always.
It's better than being a popular college coach and standing in front of everybody and go, better get your popcorn for this one, and then not scoring any points in the entire first half. I'm just saying.
Slam.
Just saying.
Slam.
The meme off the popcorn was great all game long. I loved it.
Okay, all right. We're done with the football talk.
All right, we
Sorry.
gotta go because you got children. Well,
Yeah,
child.
he's not actually sleeping. He's just laying down right now. He's waiting.
Oh, good. Now you've got him trained for when the podcast is going on, just to chill. Got it.
This is rare that he's this willing.
Mm-hmm.
We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDBOtree. Check out Griff.
At Griff Slineham.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Of course, you can check out Baka at Baka Pickle. Also, make sure you go to Griff's YouTube channel where, like, you know, she's got like stuff that you can watch.
Hey, I'm
You need
about to
watch
get
all of
started
it.
making stuff again. I'd be starting tomorrow if I didn't have like a million things that I have to get done.
We got a refrigerator coming, so we've got to
Yeah.
take care of that first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool it.
Oh no! Stop.
That's what the refrigerator is supposed to do.
I'm gonna go now.
Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313 where you can watch Chicken sometime soon. I hope.
Sometime
Maybe.
soon.
Maybe.
Eventually.
We'll have to see whenever that day may be.
Yes.
Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/MDBOtree, or you can look me up at MDBOtree on YouTube as well. I'm there on Sundays. Yeah, Revenant Respawn. I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
And he's Baka. Bye.
He's Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.